asking the why now. You'll be stuck in the there and then. If you're chasing the here and now, searching the where and when, asking the why now. You'll be stuck in the there and then. Do you remember yesterday?
Welcome to the southwestern edge of Europe, where the land thins out into cliffs and wind and open Atlantic. Sagres doesn't try to impress you and doesn't soften itself for your comfort. It just sits there, exposed to everything that comes in from the ocean, and whatever idea you brought with you about this place is usually just a projection. But let's be honest, everything is. The longer I stay, the more it feels like there is an awareness in it. Not human, not personal, but something that responds. In winter, it feels like the mask is completely off. That presence becomes undeniable and isn't as diluted by set projections, simply because there are less people there. The storms come in with weight, like the whole coastline is breathing heavier, pushing through the cliffs, bending the air, turning the ocean into a moving mass that feels heavy with intention. On those days, being here isn't about chasing a good session. It's more like I'm confronted with something that demands attention and humility. The time to integrate and sit with myself, as uncomfortable as it may be. The ocean turns dense, alive in a way that doesn't feel hostile, but it also doesn't feel indifferent. There is a kind of clarity in it, like everything unnecessary gets stripped away, and what's left is something that feels like a raw but honest friend. Then there are those other days, sometimes right after, when the sky opens up, the wind drops, and the same coastline suddenly turns light, almost playful. The waves line up clean, the sun hits the water in that soft way, and everything becomes simple again. What's striking is not just the contrast, but how naturally both states belong here, as if this place refuses to settle into a single identity. On sunny days, I still see the storm's energy in the cliff's faces. No masses of tourists can turn the wilderness into a theme park. The structure of Sagres, at least for surfers, is shaped by its three main beaches, each responding differently to the same ocean, like different voices of the same body. Tonel is the most exposed, fully open to whatever the Atlantic brings. And when the swell arrives, it carries a kind of direct, unfiltered power that doesn't leave much room for hesitation. Sitting there in the lineup on a bigger day, I feel a depth to the movement, a sense that something is building underneath you. And for a brief moment, everything goes quiet. Not empty, but focused, like the place is asking you if you're really here, and whether you commit or pull back becomes very clear, very fast. Mareta, by contrast, sits more protected, shielded from the heavier west swells, and offers something soft, forgiving, especially when the rest of the coastline is too much. After a heavy session somewhere else, being there can feel like exhaling. The waves don't demand as much, and in that space, something else opens. Flow, ease, a kind of quiet joy that doesn't need to be chased. Beliche exists somewhere between those two. Often balanced, swarmed with beginners on a Sunday morning, but make no mistake, this place can show its teeth without much warning, which makes it quietly one of the more complex spots. I've left my comfort zone many times as I paddled out at this beautiful place. Because of this natural setup, there's almost always something working. It doesn't really matter where you're at when you're surfing. There is usually a way into the water, which is part of what draws so many people here in the first place. Whether you're learning, pushing yourself, or just trying to feel something real, there's usually a place that meets you where you are. And even if not, there are countless more options within a 30-minute drive north or east. And then there is everything around it. The slower rhythm that fills the spaces between sessions. The cafes and small hangouts become extensions of the day rather than destinations. Places where time stretches a little and the line between doing something and doing nothing starts to blur. I love to have a galao in the morning and go for a late lunch after surfing until my eyes are glassy and red, my shoulder blades scream, and the salt dries on my eyelashes. At a certain point in the year, though, something shifts. Around Easter and moving into summer, Mother Nature still vibes in the same divine, unattached frequency. But beach tourism starts playing superficial melodies on top of it, gradually overlaying the rawness that defines Sagres in the off-season. It's not necessarily wrong, but it's noticeable. What comes with that is a version of the surf lifestyle that feels more performative than lived. You start to see people rehearsing an image of what they think this place represents, surf skating through town as if the ground itself was watching them. Zinc sunscreen worn like applied by a makeup artist, even when the sky is flat and gray. There's a subtle tension in it, like an effort to align with an image that never quite lands. There is a kind of effort in appearing effortless, which becomes visible the moment you look at it directly. And yeah, I noticed the dynamics around it, the orbiting, the trying to belong, the subtle hierarchies forming around who is seen and who isn't. It can feel a bit forced, a bit disconnected from what's actually here. German twents trying to attach themselves to the idea of credibility, work in minimal jobs and surf cafes, not because it sustains them, but because it places them inside a scene they want to be recognized by. There's something almost endearing in that, and at the same time, something slightly hollow, as if the focus has shifted from experiencing the place to being seen within it. The deeper layer doesn't disappear, because the ocean is still there, moving the same way, responding the same way. The cliffs don't change their shape because more people are looking at them. If anything, it becomes more obvious that the real substance of this place exists independently of any narrative built on top of it. Out in the water, especially on a bigger day at Tonel, that becomes very clear. Sitting in the lineup, you see a dark wall building at the horizon. You paddle towards it, and as you climb its building face, you feel a deep movement passing underneath you. A sound that sounds like Mother Nature is inhaling, kind of peaceful, but with a suspended tension, as if the next few seconds haven't fully decided what they will become yet. Then she exhales, the wave breaks, often with a force that reminds you how little control you actually have. And sometimes, in those moments, the atmosphere in the water shifts too. People cheering each other on, sharing waves, letting things flow instead of competing for them. The local surfers, in my experience, have mostly been open and grounded, especially when approached with awareness and respect for the space they've grown up in. Still, it would be unrealistic to ignore the friction that comes with the growing popularity of surfing. Lineups become crowded, patience wears thin, and the simplicity of being in the water can get lost in the noise of too many people wanting the same thing at the same time. There are days when it becomes difficult to find any kind of rhythm, where the experience feels fragmented rather than cohesive. The heavier days tend to pull me inward, forcing a kind of reflection that goes beyond the physical act of surfing, while the lighter days open space again, allowing for something more fluid and unburdened. What remains consistent through all of this is that Sagres doesn't adapt itself to expectations. It doesn't try to maintain a certain image, and it doesn't reward performance for long. If anything, it gradually reveals the difference between what is constructed and what is simply there. And every now and then, if you stop trying to position yourself within it and instead allow yourself to just be part of it, something shifts. Not in a dramatic or overwhelming way, but in a subtle, almost quiet recognition that what you are experiencing is enough as it is. It's not something you can hold on to or reproduce on demand. And maybe that's exactly why it matters. Because in the end, Sagres isn't a place you come to in order to become something. It's a place that, for a moment, removes the need to be anything at all.
Sunshine, my love.